Hey, brother. Well, we've done it. We're on day 40 of 40 days of integrity. We've covered many subjects, all in the interest of looking at how life brings us challenges and trying to stay integrated at the center before the Lord our God. I wanted to finish today with this verse in Nehemiah chapter 8 because it brings a culmination, and it's really the verse that most people remember out of the entire book. Here it is. It's verse 10 of Nehemiah. He says, "Go your way, eat the fat and drink sweet wine, and send portions to anyone who has nothing ready. For this day is holy to our Lord, and do not be grieved, for the joy of the Lord is our strength." And that's our word for the day, joy. I believe that what Nehemiah was sharing with the people here is, yes, there's a day for grieving, there's a day for regret, but let's remember that this is not the generation who committed the sins. They're bearing the consequences of the lapses and the sins and the disobediences of their forefathers. And as they read the law of God, they're grieving and they're weeping. But Nehemiah says, no, let's not weep right now, because the joy of the Lord is your strength. I believe this phrase, the joy of the Lord, talks about God's joy, that the joy that God possesses, the joy that flows from God, that God's joy in himself, God's joy in his creation, God's joy in his redeeming his people, God's joy in his children who have come back home is the strength of the people. To know that God is a joyful God. He does what pleases him. Yes, he has all his attributes. He's not just some hand-holding grandfather who lets us have our way, but he's also a joyful father. Can you see in this passage that it's a lot like the prodigal son coming home? And there was a time to settle accounts and get everything arranged, but when the father saw the son coming home, he ran to him and he was so full of joy, and he threw the mantle around his shoulders and he killed the fatted calf, because now it was time to rejoice. When I read this passage to Joanne, she had one simple phrase. She said, "The kids are home. The kids are home in Jerusalem. The children are back in the land. And the joy of the Lord, the joy the Lord possesses in his children is the strength of these people, because they know they serve a God who loves them. They serve a God who's a covenant-keeping God. They serve a God who wants to be their father and has outlined for them how life will thrive if they just follow him." So today, the joy of the Lord's joy in you as a son, is that he sought you out. He called you to himself. That is our strength. No one can take that away from us. We are strong because the Lord is able. He's majestic. He's stated his will. He's come after us. We're his sons and his daughters because he's adopted us into his family. Be a man with that core integrity in your life. Be integrated around the fact that God is joyful. He's a happy God, and he's most joyful that he has you as his child. God bless you.